and just melt down into the floor. Allow for just a little bit of release in the muscles. We can close our eyes here. We're going to set the space. Just allowing our energy to exist as it is, as we observe ourselves. Taking note of any sensations in the body. Anywhere our mind might be. See if we can bring it all back inside. And we'll start to deepen the breath. Breathing in through the nose all the way to the belly button. And exhale all the way up through the spine and out through the crown of the head. We'll start to deepen that inhale, filling up the lungs, going all the way down to the sit bones. And back out all the way through the crown. Finding that cleansing space. As we inhale, let's start to raise up the spine away from the floor. And exhale, we're going to soften the shoulders, keeping that height. While we're here, let's go ahead and soften the facial muscles, allowing the eyes to let go, letting the cheekbones and the jawline melt down, letting our tongue soften. And taking our awareness down through the neck and shoulders. Releasing that stress, that tension there. Down through the back and over the hips. Feeling our connection to the earth. Down through the thighs and the knees, the calves, all the way to the feet. The place where we can ground ourselves. While we're here, maybe we can bring something to our minds that we'd like to shift today, using all of this juicy, beautiful solstice energy to transform from spring into summer in our own lives. So what have we been growing? What have we been planting? Which seeds that we can now start to see come to fruition, that we can start to harvest? Also with solstice energy, where can we find the sunshine in our own lives? Where can we find the nourishment that we need to start growing? We're going to take 1 or 2 deep cleansing breaths here, really taking in that energy, dedicating our practice to ourselves and our self-growth. And when we're ready, we can slowly open our eyes, and on the inhale, we're going to bring our spine forward, looking back and up. And exhale, tucking the chin, we're going to press that spine backwards. And we'll go at our own pace, bringing that chest forward and back. Starting to wake up the spine, getting the blood flow and the lymph fluids circulating through. Good. From here, we can start to circle that spine forward and around. Keeping both of our sit bones on the floor, reaching that spine up if we can. Good, switching directions. When we're ready, coming back to center, we're going to take our hands and roll over to all fours, spreading those fingers nice and wide, tucking those toes underneath if we can. And from here, we're going to inhale, looking over that left shoulder, opening up the hips, opening up that right side of the rib cage. And exhale to the other side. We'll go ahead and repeat, tying that to our breath pattern. When we're ready, coming back to neutral, we're going to take that left leg and we're going to do a little fire hydrant action here. So we're going to take that leg, push it up and back, see if we can keep that 90-degree angle. Rotate the knee outward, just like a dog. And then we're going to come around and forward. So we want to keep a nice big circle. Feeling the energy in our hip sockets. Good. And when we're ready, we'll go ahead and switch directions. So bringing that knee up into the chest, bring it up and away. And around. Good. When we're ready, we're going to go ahead and place both feet down again, and we'll do the other side. So inhale that right leg up and back, open it out, and bring it around. Remembering to breathe into those spaces that are speaking to us. Good. When we're ready, switching directions, bringing that knee up to the chest and out. And then back around. Good. See if you can feel your other 3 limbs on the floor and press into them for a little bit more help. Good. When we're ready, go ahead and release everything down, tucking those toes underneath. We're going to roll onto the balls of our feet, coming up into our frog position. And from here, we're going to lean forward and back, starting to get some fire in those heels, in our ankles. We're ready. Let's place those heels on the floor. We're going to straighten the knees and find our forward fold. Lifting that tailbone up to the sky, breathing into the backs of our legs. Let's take one more deep inhale here. On the exhale, releasing the crown down towards the floor even further. And when we're ready, softening those knees, we're going to slowly roll up to standing, stacking our spine. Good. Finally coming all the way up to mountain pose. Really rolling the shoulders back, engaging the center, using our feet for support. Finding our stability even when we're still. On our next inhale, let's sweep the arms up overhead and exhale, fold. Inhale, lifting up to a flat spine and exhale down. Let's walk those hands out all the way to high plank, lowering down through chaturanga to the belly. Finding our way to upward dog. And exhale, tucking those toes, pressing back to downward dog. Connecting those hands and those feet to the floor and lifting from the tailbone. If we'd like to add any movement here, we can walk those legs out. We can shake our head, yes and no. It's all about exploration. What does our body like to do? And what can it use a little bit more of? Good. When we're ready, let's look up to our hands. We're going to walk our feet there and find our forward fold. See if we can get a little bit deeper than before. Good. On the next inhale, bending those knees slightly, we're going to press ourselves up to mountain pose, stacking our vertebrae one after the other, finding our way to the top. From here, let's imagine our feet are screwing themselves into the floor. So we want to sort of circle them so that they engage all the way up through the quads. So very active legs. On our next inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead, reaching for the sky. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to flat back. And exhale, down, planting our hands. Let's step back into high plank. Lowering to the belly. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, tuck our toes, press back to downward dog. Connecting to our breath. Connecting to our mantra for today. Taking note of where our mind likes to travel when we're not thinking or making a conscious effort to focus. Good. If we can melt our hearts down a little bit more, getting into those shoulder blades. And on the inhale, looking up to the hands, let's walk our feet there. Find a forward fold. Imagine spreading those toes wide, really opening up the feet. Slowly, we're going to make our way up to standing, softening those knees. Continue through the hands, allowing them to float even further upwards towards the sky. And we'll open up that rib cage, open the heart, and find ourselves in a little back bend. On our exhale, let's bring our hands to heart center. And we'll press those palms together to engage the shoulders. Good. Let's start to generate some heat. On the inhale, sweep those arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to flat back. Exhale, down, planting the hands, jumping or stepping back to high plank. Flowing continuously through, all the way to upward dog. And exhale to downward dog. Beautiful. Start to feel that flow in your own body. All of the transitional spaces in between each position. That's where the work starts to begin. On our next inhale, let's take that right leg. We're going to point the toes and send it up to the sky, finding our three-legged dog. On our exhale, we're going to take our knee, bend it into the chest, then we're going to lace that right leg underneath the left arm. We can leave it here, or we can take the left arm up and find our little side angle. Beautiful. Engaging those shoulder blades, pressing into the floor for support. On our exhale, let's bring that left arm down. We're going to unlace that leg, send it back up to three-legged dog. Beautiful. When we're ready, bringing that knee to the chest. This time we're going to place that right foot between the hands, finding a runner's lunge. Leaning it into that hip, lengthening the spine. next inhale, planting the left hand down, we're going to lift the right arm all the way up to the sky, finding a nice spinal twist. Next exhale, let's bring that arm down. We're going to plant both hands, drop that left knee down, and we'll find our way up into a kneel. Good. From here, we're going to place those hands on the right knee and bring ourselves forward, really getting into that deep hip crease. We're welcome to stay right here. If we need a little bit more, we can reach around with that right arm and grab that foot. Beautiful. Taking one more deep inhale here. On the exhale, let's unwind. We'll plant our hands down and step back into downward dog. We can also go to child's pose if we'd like to take a little bit of a break for ourselves. Whatever your body needs today. Wherever we are, let's make our way back to downward dog. And on the next inhale, lifting the left leg up and overhead, finding our three-legged dog. Good. On the exhale, we're going to bring that knee to the chest. This time lacing that left leg under and through so that we become on our sides. We can stay right here, and if we'd like, we can lift up the right arm. More deep breath in, and on the exhale, placing that right arm down, we're going to take the left leg and send it back up to three-legged dog. Good. Hopefully feeling the heat, feeling that fire. On our next exhale, bringing that knee to the chest one more time, then we'll place the left foot between the hands, finding our runner's lunge. Beautiful. Feeling the differences between each side. Still allowing ourselves to feel expansive, opening those muscles. Let's inhale that left arm all the way up and find a spinal twist. Good. On our next exhale, let's go ahead and bring both arms down. Drop that right knee. We'll find our way up to a kneel. From here, we're going to place our hands on the left knee and bring ourselves forward. Good. Still lifting from the crown of the head, opening up our lungs even more. If we need a little extra, we can reach back and grab that foot. Maintaining our breath, finding stability in that knee. Good. When we're ready, let's go ahead and unwind. Plant those hands down. Gonna send that left leg back and we'll find a child's pose. So we can open up those knees, sink down, and stretch our hands forward as far as they can. Take a few moments here, just listening to our body, taking note of all the sensations, anything that's shifted for us. Let's take our time. We're going to send our hips upwards as we walk our hands forward, and we're going to find ourselves in puppy pose. So our forearms are on the mat, our hips are up, and we're stretching through the belly. If it feels good, we can lift through the head and heart, giving ourselves a deeper stretch. Ready, we can come all the way forward onto the belly, extend our legs behind us, and we're going to find a cobra position. So right here, my forearms are still on the ground, and I'm going to press into them and lift into my upper back. One more deep breath here, and exhale, coming back down to the belly. On the next inhale, I'm going to press all the way up to upward dog. Lifting, pressing into the tops of the toes. And exhale to downward dog. Beautiful. Next inhale, let's take that right leg up and back, finding our three-legged dog once more. And on the exhale, bringing it through, we'll place it between the hands, this time finding our warrior one. I was gonna say forward one. So sinking down into the knees, lifting from the wrists, nice and light. Good. On our next inhale, open wide to warrior two. Really spreading our shoulders and our collarbones open. And we can look over the right hand. On our next exhale, let's drop the left hand down, right arm overhead for reverse warrior. And on the exhale, we'll pass through center and we'll switch. Drop the right arm down, left arm overhead. Good. Sinking into that knee even more if we can. Really lengthening from the toes all the way to the fingers. When we're ready, on the exhale, let's drop the left arm down. Right arm's gonna frame the foot as well, so we've got everything over that leg. And we're gonna straighten the right leg as much as we can and find a forward fold. Really sinking into those calves there, sinking into the back of the knee, into the hamstrings. Taking our time, we're going to walk both of our hands. We can bend our knees for this if we need to. We're going to walk both of our hands around to the left, and we'll straighten our toes out so that we're sideways on our mats. From here, we're going to straighten both legs again. Inhale, lifting to our flat back. And we'll exhale and come all the way down. Finding a wide leg pose. Allow the head to start anchoring your body downward, really separating the vertebrae in the spine. If it feels good, we can add a little movement side to side, getting into those muscles. Then when we're ready, we're going to walk those hands all the way, continuing to the left. This time we're going to turn the toes of the left foot forward and find our warrior one on this side. Good. Letting those wrists float up to the top. Softening those shoulder blades. Opening wide into warrior two, spreading those collarbones. And we can look over the left hand. Beautiful. Dropping the right arm down. Let's inhale the left arm overhead, opening up the ribs. our next exhale, passing through center, drop that left arm down, right arm overhead. Good. Maintaining our breath. Maybe revisiting our mantra, taking note of where our mind is, connecting to our bodies, starting to refocus inward. Good. From here, let's drop both hands to the mat. We're going to straighten that left leg as much as possible and find a forward fold. See if we can lengthen our hearts towards our toes, keeping a straighter spine rather than curling it too much. Let's take one more deep breath here. On the exhale, we're going to bend both knees. We're going to slowly come back up, bringing our feet together and finding a forward fold here at the tops of our mats. On the next inhale, softening those knees, we're going to slowly rise our way up to mountain pose. Finding our way to standing. Taking a few moments here just to reconnect with the body, checking in. On the inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, let's lift up to flat back, extending the spine forward. And exhale down, planting those hands. Gonna walk back to high plank. Slowly lowering down to the belly. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale, tucking those toes, finding our downward dog. Taking a couple of deep cleansing breaths in and out here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Ready, we're going to bend our knees, send our hips back so we get a nice springboard here. When we're ready, we're going to jump through to seated. Very nice. Let's keep our knees up in the air. From here, let's roll onto our backs. Nice and slow. Taking a few moments here, just allowing our muscles to sink down, starting to release our responsibility, letting gravity help us out. Starting to feel the backs touching the mat, feeling ourselves connect to the earth. We can do as little work as possible From here, allowing our breath to start to return back to its everyday state. And doing one final body scan. So bringing our awareness to the tops of our heads, traveling down through the muscles of the face, releasing everything as we go, down through the neck and shoulders, through the chest and belly, letting the belly soften again, disengaging, traveling through the hips, the legs, the knees, the calves, and finally through the feet. And taking our time, let's bring our knees into our chest. We're going to hug them close and rock side to side, massaging our low back. Taking in all the juicy goodness that our bodies give us. From here, let's take our peace fingers. We're going to grab onto our big toes and send ourselves out into happy baby. Here, doing any last bits of movement that help our practice feel complete. If you practice back bend or shoulder stand, you're welcome to do that. When we're ready, when we feel completed with our practice today, we're going to allow our legs to fall all the way flat and enter our state of Shavasana. We're going to take a few moments of silence here for ourselves to start integrating all that we practiced today and listening for any insights may come up about our lives going forward. bring some life back to our bodies. Starting to wiggle our fingers and toes. Pressing into our feet, giving ourselves a little shimmy. Bringing everything back with us to apply to the physical plane. And when we're ready, let's slowly roll onto the right side. Remembering that we can always be reborn through our practices. Taking this energy and allowing it to flow through the rest of our day, rest of our week, rest of our life. And we have the power to access this place of stillness, no matter where we are. Taking our time, slowly going to come back to seated. Showing some gratitude to ourselves and to our lovely group of people for sharing the space and the energy today. So grateful for all of you. Thank you for sharing the space and for practicing with me today.